What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're enjoying your day so far. Getting into this episode of GH. Listen, Michael was pissing me off today because I'm like, Michael, better shut the hell up, boy. I really felt like, even though he was defending his mother's honor or whatever, I guess, I also felt like Michael was making this whole thing between Nina, Sonny, and Carly. I felt like he was making it about him. And it's like, it's not about him. Like, he needs to be quiet and mind his business. Because the way he was trying to come at Sonny and stuff, I'm like, he better shut the hell up because you are not talking to your father. You are talking to a very manic Sonny Corinthos, a very bipolar who's off his meds, Sonny Corinthos. You might want to shut the hell up because if y'all remember a few years back when Morgan was lashing out at Sonny and Sonny wasn't in his right mind and he wasn't on his meds, he yoked him the hell up. Like Carly, Michael, Olivia, like they all had to try to get Sonny up off of that boy because he was about to beat the hell out of Morgan. So if I was Michael, I'm like, listen, all that shouting that you doing, you might want to bring it down. You're at a 10, you might want to bring it down to about a 2. Because listen, if you don't, thank God Dante got there when he did, because if not, it was going to be a misunderstanding in that kitchen. It was going to be some furniture moving in that bitch because Sonny is not in his right mind. And the way Sonny was looking and shouting and stuff like that, I said, listen, if I was up in that kitchen with them, I would have kindly stepped my ass to the side, pulled out my phone, and got ready to dial 911. Because I'm like, Michael, this ain't what you want right here. This ain't what you want. You might want to shut up. Shut the hell up. You know, like I said, I respect that he trying to defend his mother or whatever, but what pisses me off is he looks at Sonny and talks to Sonny with so much judgment. And that's why I like when Sonny and Dante talk. Because he can have an honest conversation with Dante, and Dante waves the white flag of judgment. Like, he does not judge him. He just sits and listens and tries to give him the best advice. Whereas Michael wants to yell and be all judgmental. I'm like, tone it down. Calm down. You know what I mean? Like, relax yourself. Because when Sonny went off on him, even Dante noticed that Sonny was off. Like, and Dante had to ask Sonny. He was like, you all right? You good? Sonny was like, yeah, I'm good. You know? And he just lashed out at Michael and was like, yo, stop telling me what to do. I was like, yeah, you're not getting your father. You're getting a very manic Sonny right now. So you might want to tread lightly. Because when Sonny is in that mode where he's not taking his pills, bullets get to flying and he ain't in his right mind. And a gun might accidentally go off. Like, you might want to relax. And, just relax yourself. But I really wish that somebody recognized that he's not taking his meds and get that man back on his pills. Cause he ain't right. Like, when he's not on them pills, Sonny ain't right. He's able to do anything. You know, he's liable to do anything. So I hope somebody recognized, Dante started to recognize that something was off, but I don't think he realized like that Sonny's not taking his meds. But I'm like, yeah, y'all better check that. For somebody to get a checkup from the neck up. So anyway, moving on from that. Why, oh why is Ava causing so much drama? The way she kept egging Nina on, she just kept gassing her. Oh, Carly's insecure. That's why Carly came to see you because she's running scared. She knows Sonny is in love with you. Why are you egging this girl on, Ava? And I think Ava's trying to rile her up. Ava wants Sonny and Carly to split up because now she feels like it works to her benefit with Avery if they do. And that's the whole reason why Ava trying to gas that shit. She trying to, hopefully get Sonny away from Carly so it can help her custody bid or whatever. But Nina is so delusional. The way she was talking today, like the way she been talking every day. Like, she asks people the same questions in hopes that she gets a different answer. Because remember last time she asked Phyllis, oh, do you think me and Sonny could be together if him and Carly break up? And Phyllis told her, like, yeah, it's possible Sonny and Carly will break up, but you don't need to be with him, though. And she's hoping Ava's going to tell her something different. That's why she asked that question. I'm like, this chick is so batshit crazy. When it comes to her little trice with Sonny, it's like she loses all senses. But what Martin was telling her was exactly pretty much what I was saying. that Nina shouldn't burn her last bridge with the Corinthos family or the Quartermains. I feel like before she takes, and I said this before she takes any legal action as pertaining to Wiley, she should have a conversation with Michael. But she doesn't really want to have a conversation with Michael because she feels like he's not really going to be, understanding. He's not really going to want to talk to her or see reason because she feels like Carly's going to be all up in his ear. I'm like, Michael's a grown man, though. Michael's a grown man. He got a mind of his own. Yeah, Carly sometimes get in his ear or whatever, but most of the time he, trusts his gut. But that's why I felt like she should have a conversation first. So that way they could talk first. I definitely feel like Nina should take the civil approach with Michael. She should try to talk to him. Never mind Carly. What I'm saying? She should try to talk to Michael, and if Michael doesn't want to be reasonable, he doesn't want to hear her, then she can take it to court. Because at the end of the day, she can at least say that she tried to be civil and he didn't. So it gives her grounds. And it justifies her going to court and saying that he forced her hand on it because he didn't want to listen. Because Martin pretty much told her she had a good chance of winning because she would be crazy to give up her rights. Because once she gives up her grandparent right, you can't get them back. You know what I'm saying? So it's best that she keeps those, And I'm glad she didn't listen to Willow and sign them away because that would have been stupid. So Ava pretty much told Nina to play the long game. Sit back, let Sonny and Carly's marriage implode, and maybe she could pick up the pieces because the last thing she needs is to go to war with Michael because Ava feels like if she goes to war with Michael, Sonny's not going to want to mess with her because he's going to choose his kid over her. So Ava's advice was like, you know what? Just sit back, relax, let their marriage implode. You get Sonny and you get Wiley. I wouldn't listen to Ava's advice because Ava's in this for her own game because she's thinking about Avery. That's what her thinking is. I just feel like Nina should let this whole notion of her and Sonny being a couple, she should let that shit go. I think she should let it go because it sounds about nutty. Just let that shit go. So anyway, moving on from that. So Laura tried to have a little family meeting. She's still trying to get Nicholas and Spencer to reconcile. And it seems like they both want to, but the problem is Spencer is not trying to reconcile with Nicholas as long as he's married to Ava. That's the problem. And at this point, Nicholas was so annoyed with Esme because Esme comes up in there talking about Nicholas was so sick and tired of Esme. Like, she coming in there folding her arms and stuff. Oh, I'm not going to let them gang up on you. I said, if you don't go sit your little ass down, Esme, like, I am getting so tired of this girl interjecting herself in family business. That's why I love how Kevin just told her, you know what, let's go get a cup of coffee. I'm not leaving. You getting the hell out of my house. Like, I don't understand why nobody is doing a background check on this girl. Like, y'all don't know anything about her people, if she's telling the truth about her family. You don't know nothing. And you got her in your house. I would have to know everything about her. Kevin, I feel like every time Kevin gets her by himself and he talks to her, it's like he's in therapist mode. Like he's shrinking her. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to find out what makes her tick, her quirks and stuff like that. She talks about her family and stuff and how she's not close to her siblings. And he mentioned how, she spends a lot of time, talking to Ryan or whatever. Like she be around Ryan. And he told her, like, if you really knew what Ryan was capable of and you seen him in action, you would be afraid of him. So after she left, after she got up and went to the bathroom, Kevin had called Spring Ridge and basically told them to start restricting access to certain people. He don't want a lot of people around his brother. He's definitely trying to restrict Esme's access to him. You know what I mean? I think that was smart on Kevin's part. But yeah, Laura's trying to play peacemaker or whatever and get the family back together because it's clear that Spencer and Nicholas want to mend their relationship. Nicholas keeps apologizing to him for the whole faking his death and not contacting him. But it's like, how many times can you apologize? What's done is done. And like Nicholas said, I can't change what I did. You know what I mean? Which is so true. And, Spencer, he's willing to forgive Nicholas. The only problems in their way is Ava. Like, he wants nothing to do with her. He don't want her around. And I'm like, well, that's I mean, that's just tough. Like, your dad is married to the woman. What do you want him to do? He's in love with her. So if he divorces Ava or whatever for the sake of Spencer, it's gonna make him miserable. You know what I mean? And it's so funny how Spencer's sitting there talking about, oh, Esme's the only one who got my back, or she's the only one that's there for me. What the hell is your grandmother? Chopped liver? She's had your back since you came back to town. She defended you, allowed you and your girl to come stay up in her house. You know what I mean? Come shack up in her house. Like, come on now. If that ain't having your back, I don't know what is. Because he's sitting there, oh, Uncle Victor's been nice to me. He has an agenda. That's the only reason Victor's nice to him. It ain't because you're family. Please. Victor is only nice to people or warming up to people because he has an agenda. He's up to something. And that's why Laura was trying to warn him. Like, don't trust him. Don't be so blind towards him. So basically, Laura pretty much told them that they're going to continue this on a weekly basis. So basically, it's going to be a weekly family intervention until they can get it right, until they can get it together. I don't blame Laura for that because I think a lot of families need that. I ain't even going to lie to you. A lot of families need that kind of intervention, that kind of family therapy. They need it. They need somebody to sit in the middle and be the go-between. And I feel like Laura did a good job with it. So anyway, moving on from that, Carly and Drew, I like the scenes between them. You know what I'm saying? And Drew made it abundantly clear he's not trying to take Jason's place in her life because he never could. But he wants to be somebody else that she can turn to, and lean on. And I'm glad Carly apologized to him about New Year's Eve because I felt like she was very rude towards him because New Year's Eve, he really tried to be nice to her. Like, he really tried to be a friend. He tried to be a shoulder. And I felt like she was rude because she was like, on New Year's Eve, she was like, oh, if you really want to do something for me, go your way and I'm going to go my way. That was so rude. And I'm glad she apologized to him because he didn't deserve that. He was just trying to be nice. And Carly just bit his head off. But, I guess Carly was just in a different headspace during that time. But, she apologized, which is good. And I'm glad, her and Drew are getting to know each other differently. Like, she's getting to know him as Drew. You know what I'm saying? And they're starting their friendship over. So I'm happy about that. As long as it don't turn into no relationship, I'm good. I don't want to see Carly with no Drew. I mean, if they go that route, they go that route. I don't want to see it because I'm like, no. I feel like Drew could be with somebody else. Carly got enough on her plate. But, Drew basically told her, like, if her and Sonny can't work it out, just trust your instincts, just go with your gut and stuff like that. Go what you feel is right for you and your family and your kids and stuff like that. And I agree, at the end of the day, marriage is hard as hell. And at this point, I think Carly do need space away from Sonny right now. You know what I mean? Like she do. And Sonny made it abundantly clear that he's willing to fight for her. He's willing to wait. I don't know how long he gonna wait because you know how Sonny do. Sonny cannot be without a woman. He can't. Sonny, he's that type of dude, man. He can't be alone forever now. He ain't no hermit. So I don't know. I definitely feel like Carly and Sonny need a break. I don't know if I want to see them get a divorce per se, but they damn sure need a break. Because with all this drama going on between them, every time they get with each other and talk and try to fix it, it ends up with Carly storming off and being more mad than she was before. So I do feel like they need a break. They need that. So anyway, moving on from that, I'm glad Brad has somebody like Britt in his corner because Britt don't give a damn at this point. When he told her about the whole poisoning and how Miss Wu set it up or whatever, he is intimidated by her. Rightfully so, because he don't want to cross his aunt. Like, he don't want to get on her bad side. Because people who piss her off, obviously they disappear. I don't think she would hurt him. I don't think physically. I mean, you never know with Miss Wu. Because I know a lot of people think that that's his real mama. And it's possible. I ain't going to say it's not. It's possible. But, I don't know. But he's definitely afraid of her. And Britt was pissed because Britt feels like now that he did her bidding where Peter is concerned, she's afraid that now Miss Wu has leverage on him to keep him in line. Because she has the fact that he gave that poisonous trade, that food trade to him. So she could use that. So Britt was like, no, I got your back. Britt said, listen, I'm going to help you. So she was like, she knows somebody that can help them or whatever with their Miss Wu problem. Because she really wants Britt to get out from under Miss Wu. You know, start living his life the way he wants to live it, not the way Miss Wu wants him to live it. But we all know Miss Wu ain't going to sit idly by and allow this. Because if she catches wind that Britt is around Brad, she ain't going to have that shit. You know Miss Wu, she going to pop off. But Britt don't care, though. That's what I love about Britt. Because anybody else probably would just bow down to Miss Wu, but Britt said, no, I'm not doing that. Britt don't give a damn. Because the way she see it, she done went up against way worse people than Miss Wu, which is so true. I mean, come on, this girl was raised by Obrecht and Faison, for crying out loud. Like, she done been around the worst of the worst and lived to tell the tale, so she ain't afraid. So it's good, you know, Brad lucky to have somebody like Britt on his side that's fearless. You know, she got his back. So of course Dante popped up or whatever, letting Britt know that, you know, Peter is on the mend and soon they're gonna be transferring him to the prison infirmary. So Britt was like, she's just waiting for his lab results to come back or whatever, and once those come back good, they're just gonna transfer him back to prison. But of course, you know, Dante was wondering why Brad was living with Miss Wu or whatever, because he was like, you are on parole, so you better be careful who you associate with. I'm like, that's true, you know, I get where Dante coming from, but still that, you know, so Brad revealed to him that Miss Wu is his aunt. And I mean, where else is Brad supposed to go? Who else is he supposed to stay with? There's nobody else, you know, he's not really friends with anybody in town other than Britt, and Britt is living out of a hotel room. She ain't got a place, you know, as far as like a house or an apartment for him to crash. And I doubt he wants to stay in Carly's hotel, you know, bumping into her family and stuff like that, where he's gonna have to go through constant threats and you know, people staring him down with hatred. So where else is he supposed to go? He got to stay with Miss Wu. He ain't got no job, so I'm assuming he ain't got no money either. You know, like what is he gonna do? Um, and basically Britt stood up for Brad again with Dante, letting Dante know like, why are you trying to intimidate him and stuff like that? Go the hell on. And I like how Britt always defend him, but she let Brad know too, like, you need to get a backbone. Like where Miss Wu is, you know, where Miss Wu from, like, he just got to get a backbone from where Miss Wu is concerned and everybody else. He needs to get a spine. You know, I understand that he still feel guilty about the Wiley situation, and he's apologized for it. He went to prison for it, but that don't mean that, you know, you got to sit back and let people kick you while you down too. Because I wouldn't do that shit. I mean, you can only apologize but so much. So I'm glad Britt is, you know, his friend and stuff, because Britt don't play. She don't play when it comes to Brad. Like, she speak her mind. She don't be giving a damn. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought, and I will see y'all all later. Have a great night. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all Monday. Have a great night. Peace.